Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Shayla. Thanks so much for joining me. Today we are going to be making some fun little notebooks. This is my little example one I made, and it's just super simple. I didn't do any designs on the inside. You can take it as far as you like, but it's made with some jump rings. We have some eyelets, and then just some scrapbook paper. So let's jump into it. Okay, so you saw my example just a second ago. I'm going to kind of run through the list of what you'll need so you can gather your supplies and create with me. So you'll need some sort of paper trimmer, whether that be scissors or an actual trimmer. You will need a hole puncher and then a eyelet setter, so this kind of thing. You don't have to have this giant tool, but just something. They make other ones. You'll need jump rings. I would say more on the medium to large size, like these are super big. Those will work better just to hold everything. I personally am going to be using a distress ink just to kind of make the edges look a little worn. That one's optional. And then you'll need some pliers to set your jump rings in place or close them. You'll need some scrapbook paper. I just chose some, I think this is like a 5x7 or something like that. It's a small one. You'll need some sort of like lined paper or whatever you want to put inside of your mini journal. And then you'll need some eyelets. You don't have to do the eyelet part if you don't have them. Just be wary that eventually your holes might not, since they're not reinforced, they might tear over time. If you have, a lot of opening and closing of these. So just something to be mindful of. And then I did use, so it gives this kind of 3D effect. I used these little, I think they're called like foam dots or pop dots or something like that, but they basically create like a 3-dimensional effect on your paper crafting. So I use that as well, but that is optional. You don't have to use that. And then you want something pretty for your front. I'm actually just using, this came with the paper that I selected, and it just complements it nicely. So I'm just going to use some of these, but you can use all sorts of embellishments. If you have some little flowers, those are actually like little cherries, whatever you have handy, another flower. So I do have those off to the side. I probably won't dig into those. But yeah, and then some sort of measuring. So my trimmer has measuring on it, so I'm just going to be using that. But if you're like hand trimming, you might need like a ruler or something like that. So let's jump into it. So this is my example. This is a 3x3. And I'll just put that kind of there. So let's see. Move that out of the way. And for these, I did still have some paper left over. Theoretically, I could make a second one. But I'm going to choose a different paper to make. And we might cut these down all together. Let's do, well, I'll cut them all down. How about that? We'll make 4. I think I have enough for 4. And the lined paper I used is actually just like a little notebook that had spiral binding. So I was able to take the binding off and just use the paper. So just be resourceful. Okay, so we're going to cut this 3 inches. Let's see here. Let me move some stuff out of the way. And I'll zoom you in just a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to cut 3 inches. All right, that's 3. And you'll need a front and a back piece. So I have those 2, and these are long enough to where I can cut, I think, just down the middle. We'll see. I'll just measure it at 3 again. So they're 3x3. Okay, so we have 2 pieces. Now let's measure this, make sure it's 3. I think it's slightly over 3. So we might need to trim just a little bit off. Yeah, just a smidge. Okay, so there we go. So we have 1, 2, and then let's trim our other 2 papers. We'll make 4 journals today. And these are super quick once you kind of get it down. It's something you can definitely mass make. So you could use these if you make like little handmade journals as like an accompaniment to the journal. You could probably turn these into charms too because of the jump rings. Just add like a little bulb pen or something and turn it into a charm. All right, so we cut those down to 3. And then again, I'm just going to measure at 3 here. And cut that. So there's that one. And I probably just need to cut a small bit off of this one. Perfect. All right. So we can put that away for a minute while we work on these. Okay, so let's pair them together. You could do, you know, like 2 different ones. They don't have to be matchy-matchy. All right. And the way I'm pairing them, so if you see me flipping them, that's because you want, obviously, the non-pattern side to be on the inside. So you kind of have a cover of sorts. So there we go. Those are good to go. So we have our 4. So now we're going to punch some holes for this. And I will say, so I'm going to be using the bigger punch because my eyelets are bigger. It's just what I'm working with right now. So I have bigger hole eyelets. If you have smaller ones, just use smaller eyelets, you know, whatever you have. Or don't use eyelets. Okay, so we have this, and all I'm going to do, I'm actually just going to eyeball measure. Let's see if you can see that. And my mat, actually, and this is where a ruler would come handy if you're very perfectionist as far as like where you want your holes to go. But my mat, I just realized, actually has these, I don't know if you can see these little dots right here. So I'm going to try and follow that. And I don't want to put them too far out to the edge because my paper is going to be smaller inside. So you just want to make sure that your paper will actually, when you cut it, will overlap the holes so you can actually put your paper in there. So I'm going to go for these like middle ones here. So we have one here, and then we'll do this middle one, and then we'll do this one. I feel like that's good. Okay. Again, just kind of going for it. So I have them together. And now I'm going to punch my holes. I am going to try and punch close to the edge. And the reason for that is because on my first one, while it did turn out fine, sometimes it was hard to turn the pages. So I just want to make sure that, you know, so see how they're kind of close to the edge? That's perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for all of these. Let's just go ahead. Okay. And then too, you can kind of, when you're doing this, see where you want, because obviously if you put the holes here, then you know it's going to open this way. Or if you do it this way, if there's like a specific pattern you're looking for. I personally like this, so I'm going to do them right here. Okay, same thing. I'm just going to put, and I'm just using a pencil. And we're just going to make sure those are lined up. And again, just going to punch those holes. Okay, and there's one. And there's 2. Oh, that one's a little close to the edge. Still good though. Once I reinforce it with the eyelet, it'll be fine. Okay, and then we have these 2. This one seems, there we go. I think that's together. Okay. Some of these might need a little trim. Make sure that that's even. Okay, there's those. And see, I might need to do a little trim. Also, too, if you ink around the edges, sometimes it'll take care of any sort of like tiny white you might see. So, okay, sorry, I had to pause there. I don't know what was like on my nail. I had to get that off. That was bothering me. Sorry about that. Okay. So we're going to do the last one here. Again, just measuring. And I am not a huge perfectionist, so I'm okay if they're not perfect. But, you know, I'm just making these for me, so. Okay. All right, perfect. So we have those. And now I am going to go ahead and set the eyelets. And I know we haven't punched the holes for the paper yet, but that's okay. So let's see. I need 4 eyelets for each one. So we'll go ahead and pick those out. And I might do a mixture of different types, because this one looks like it would be really cute with silver. Is that a silver one? I guess so. It just looked kind of strange. And I'm trying to match too with what I have here. You don't have to. I think this one would be good with like a gold or bronzy color. Okay. We'll do this one. I do have like a white. Oop. Okay, I lost that one. That one just fell on the floor. Okay. We'll do white for this one, and maybe I think these like platinum type rings will look okay with it. We'll see. Okay, so I have 4 white ones. And then last but not least, I have this one, which could really do any color. We'll do another bronzy gold. Okay. Perfect. So I picked all of those out. We can set those off to the side. And now I'm going to set all of these. So you want to make sure your pretty side, which is this nice flat side, is on the front here, like that. So I'll go ahead and just put these in here. And then now we're going to press down. So using my tool, and it just clamps it like that. And we're just going to repeat that process for all of these. Just make sure you're not putting it in the wrong way. Make sure your pretty side is always on your patterned paper side. And you could also use double sided paper. That will make the inside look a lot prettier. Okay, so we have that one, which goes like that. Very nice. And then we'll do the same for all of these. And some of these are like going to hang off the edge a little bit. I'm not really concerned about that because it's just going to make the jump ring move a little bit more freely. So you won't have to, there was just like a little struggle with Like, see how that one's kind of off? That's okay. It doesn't bother me. You can do them a little more inside. Just use a bigger jump ring because, where's my example? Oh, it's right here. Because see, like it'll, if I turn it, it kind of gets caught right there, and that's because they're not close enough to the edge. So, you know, you make mistakes and that's how you learn. I wouldn't really call that a mistake though, just something to note for the next one I make. Everyone has a prototype, right? And they make adjustments. Okay. Okay. To me, it's really satisfying when I set an eyelet. I don't know. Okay, set those. All right, so we have those three, and then here's the last ones. Okay, perfect. So we've set all of our eyelets, and now we can move on to making our innards. So we will need 4 bunches. I'll just put those right there for now, of papers. So we will need our trimmer for this one. And since I did, so you can make these any size. Since I did a 3x3, I'm gonna cut this paper slightly smaller. So I'm actually gonna cut this paper down to 2 3/4, which is this one right here. And I'm actually gonna cut this off. So let's see, how do I want to do that? We'll start by cutting this down. How about that? Or maybe, here we go. Okay, let's cut this off because we don't need it. I'm gonna hope that that's pretty straight. Okay, so there we go. You could use this for little clusters or something, or, you know, you don't have to keep it. All right, and then now, make sure your paper is nice and aligned. I'm gonna go to the 2. See, it's slightly uneven. That's okay. Let's go here first, and we'll go to the 2 3/4, or 2.75. Just like that. All right, so we have that, and then now I'm going to cut it down again to 2.75. Okay, there's one little bundle. And then this one, let's see, I just want to measure it and see where we're at. Okay, so it's a little off. Maybe I'll cut this one down just so I can use this whole thing as a bundle. So it will be not quite 2.75, but just as a good reference point. Okay, so now there's one bundle. So this is enough pages where I feel comfortable that I'm good for that amount. I'm not going to waste this, even though there's that right there. So I'm going to measure this, or actually, I'm going to cut this piece off first. Okay, because that's just like the brand. All right, and then now I'm going to measure it. These we could use for like a little cluster or something. Those are just a little too small. Oh, and this one's slightly uneven. Okay. And if you're wondering, this guillotine trimmer is from Tim Holtz in collaboration with Tonic Studios. It's a mini guillotine trimmer. My mom actually got that for me for Christmas, so thanks, Mom. All right, so I have some papers. I'm going to trim down another set to the 2.75. Okay. And then make sure they're nice and straight. I'm really bad at cutting any sort of straight thing, so. Okay. As you can tell, look at that. Okay, I guess I did cut that right. But that's okay. Cut that off. There we go. Perfect. Good enough, right? So that's the second one. We have 2. Now we need 2 more. And I know this part's boring, so I apologize in advance. All right. More scraps here. Okay. All right, and then this should make another one. Perfect. So we have another bundle. So that's bundle number 3. Put that there. And then we need 1 more. And then I think I can probably get it out of this one. Let me just cut that off. Flip that around. And I'm not really worried about the lines or anything like that. It's just supposed to be a cute little scrappy journal, so. Okay. And again, I don't know how to cut. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's because it's the bottom end piece that it's not 2.75. Oh. Did not like that. There we go. Okay. Took a few tries, but we got it. And now we can be done with our paper trimmer. So we have our little papers. Anything that's uneven, I can always hand trim later, so that's okay. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is I'm going to take, since these are the same, like they line up, I'm going to take my paper and I'm going to just kind of measure where I want it to go. So I'm kind of covering the holes here and you'll see why. So that looks good. Okay. So now I'm going to take my pencil and just make a little mark right in the middle. I don't know if you can see that. There's a little pencil mark. Okay, just like that. And then I'm going to punch a hole. And this is where this becomes handy because I'm going to use the smaller, there's 2 hole punches. There's a bigger one, which is what I used. And then I'm going to use the smaller one to make these holes. So let's see. Okay. And make sure your papers stay nice and straight. That's kind of important for this part. Okay. So now I have my holes. And we're going to go ahead and go in with our jump rings. Move these out of the way. This one had the white jump rings, so I'm going to use these like platinum looking ones. And I'll go for the biggest size. That's fine. I used the medium size in the last one, but we'll try out this one. Okay, so which one is my cover? I wanted this side to be my cover. So now you're just going to kind of stack it. So I'm going to go in like this. Okay. Get your papers together to where the holes are all lined up. And then put that in the jump ring like that. And then take your cover and do that last. So you're kind of just stacking them. And then these are actually pretty pliable. So I might use my jewelry tools for like fine tuning, but otherwise they'll be fine. Okay, so there's the first one. Let's do the second one. So same thing, just go through here, get your papers, go through those, and then go through the top, and then we're just gonna shut it. There we go. And look at that, you made your first little notebook. How cute. And so from there, just gonna show you really quick. I have a, this is just one of those rounders, and I think it gives a nice, you can leave it square, or you can get a little more decorative and round the edges, which I think looks really cute. Okay, so we have that so far. So we're going to build the other ones, and then we'll do the little embellishment on top. So let's take our next stack and our next set of covers. Again, we're just going to kind of line them up with the holes on the inside. So I just kind of put them there, and I just hold it in place with my finger like that. Okay, take my pencil, make a little dot in each one, remove that for a minute, and then we'll punch our holes. Okay, I just couldn't see. There's one. And there's two. Okay, we have our holes. Now, I'm trying to show you. Okay, now we did gold for that one, which I think this one looks, it's more like a bronzy gold. It's not like gold, so I'm going to use these, I think. Or would this look better? Well, that's actually not even that color. Okay. I don't know. Maybe those look good. Okay, we'll try those. Why not? Alright, so first things first, we're going to take our, make sure that they are the same way. So I'll take this one, loop that through. We'll put our papers together and loop the papers through there. We'll put our top on, loop that, and then we're going to close the jump ring. And then we're going to repeat that process. So that one. Loop that through. And then the cover. Same thing, we're just going to close that up. Okay. And there we go. We have our second one. And I'll go ahead and round the edges since I have my little rounder right here. Oh, that one did a little weird rounding. Okay, that's fine. Perfect. So we have that cute little one. Now we have 2 more to go. Hang with me. All right. There we go. Okay, made my holes. And the more you do this, the faster, you'll get at it. Here, 2 little jump rings. All right, so first things first, we do the back cover. And see, this one is a little, doesn't want to fully close, so let me just, there we go. Oh no, too far. Okay, there we go. And same thing, let's just, there we go. And then last one. Okay, so these look a little bronzy. I'll get our little jump rings ready. Okay. Same thing, just mark where the hole's gonna go. Okay. All right, so now we assemble. Okay. So back one. Let me do that. That one. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so we don't need this anymore. We are done. I'll remove that. Let's see. We are done with our jump rings. Kind of close those up. And we'll put our tools on top. Done with the pencil. Okay, let's round the rest of these edges and then we will decorate them. And you can definitely decorate them, as thoroughly or simply as you would like. Maybe just keep them plain. You could keep them plain And then if you're like selling these or something, you could make like a little decoration pack that comes with it, and they can decorate their own cover. That would be a fun idea. But for now, I'm just going to decorate these. I think once these are made, I have a few friends that might want one. So I'll give them away. Okay. Alrighty. So I have all of my corners rounded. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to ink around the edges to create a nice little distressed look. Obviously, if you wanted to ink around like these edges, I would recommend, I probably should have said this before, inking your paper first before doing the whole eyelet thing. Just so that way it's easier. But I'm fine with just the three outer edges. Okay, so we did one. Let's do the next two. And sometimes too, I'll even ink the edges if you can't really see the ink. And the reason I do that is because it kind of, see how there's like that white cut edge? If I ink it, then you don't see it anymore. It just kind of gives a more finished look, in my opinion. So, but also it gives a grungy look. I don't know. All right, there's that one. And these are so easy to make. Like I said, once you start making them, I think you'll find that you'll want to make them often. Because they're very simple. Okay, so I've inked those. Those are ready to go. We can get rid of that for, well, we might want it for our little decoration pieces. Okay, so now I have these pretty little pieces. I need to see what I am wanting. Okay. All right, so I'm actually gonna use the trimmer. I just hand trimmed these before, but I think I'll get a better edge if I use the trimmer. So let's do it. Because this one is ever so slightly, had a little edge that was not. Okay, so there's those two, which I do like. Let's see. Okay. Since I'm giving these to friends, I know like some friends like certain things and some friends don't. So I'm not going to try and be too picky choosy, but obviously I have this one too. I do like that one. I like that one, but it's too, I like that one. That's pretty. Okay. And then I really like this butterfly one. Chop that. butterfly. And then I could do chasing dreams. I could also do I like the chasing dreams, so we'll do that one. All right. Okay, so I have my, and this one will be there. So now I'm going to ink around the edges of those as well. And I could round the corners of these too. But since I rounded the other corners, I think I want to keep these square. There's that one. All right. So I inked around those. And then now I'm going to use my pop dots, which are these, to give a nice 3D effect. And I'm just putting them right in the middle. Some people like to put them like on all four corners. I think this will be fine. Peel that off. And then all I'm going to do is center it as best as I can. Push that down. They're adhesive, so hopefully that's all that it needs. But there we go. We have one done. So super cute. Okay, well actually we have two done because we have our example. So let's do the rest of these. It's so satisfying when a project just comes together. I like projects that I can finish the same day. There we go. Beautiful. There's that one. I can hear my cat. I have another chair in my room, probably like right kind of next to me. It's to the left of me where she sleeps. It's actually for my sewing machine, but it's just became my cat's little sleeping chair. And I can hear her snoring, which was really cute. But anyways, okay, so we made some beautiful, cute little journals. You could put little charms on the edges of these too. That could be another idea. Aren't those so cute? So just kind of showing you. Look at how gorgeous. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a like. It definitely helps my YouTube channel. I appreciate all the love and support from you guys. Don't forget to subscribe so you know when my next video comes out. And with that, I will leave you to it. You guys have a wonderful day. Go make something, even if it's just something small. It doesn't have to be crazy. You know, it's nice though. It's good for your mind. So go make something, go make some art. And remember guys, to always stay crafty. Bye.